Precisely 6:45. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The news edited by J. Ogaraj and read by Sharifa Tahir. Headlines. Sri Lankans witness another dawn of the Sinhala and Tamil New Year preparation of meals, which commence at 6:17 a.m. today. President Gotabaya Rajapaksa says the dawn of the Sinhala and Tamil New Year brings out fresh hopes and renewed determination. Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa says the dawn of Sinhala and Tamil New Year will embark on a new path towards a prosperous country. The opposition leader says New Year should usher and strengthen reconciliation and coexistence among communities. Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation has organized a special program known as Ratawata Aurudu during this New Year week. News overseas, US says troops to leave Afghanistan by the 11th of September. In sports, Rahul Chahar, Surya Kumar Yadav, Trent Bolt star as Mumbai Indians pull off unlikely win. Local news in detail now. Sri Lankans witness another dawn of the Sinhala and Tamil New Year early this morning, the 14th of April. The New Year, which is known as Alut Auruda in Sinhala and Puthandu in Tamil, is celebrated by both communities through various rituals and customs. As per the traditional astrological belief, the sun completes its movement across the 12 segments of the zodiac in the course of a year, taking 1 month to travel each constellation. The transition of the sun from the house of Pisces to the house of Aries marks the beginning of the new year. A number of customs and traditional beliefs are associated with Aurudu celebrations in Sri Lanka. The Sinhalese are influenced by astrological faiths and perform several religious practices during this time. New Year was dawn at 2:33 a.m. on the 14th of April this morning. Punya Kala, or inauspicious time, begins at 8:09 p.m. on the 13th of April and ends at 8:57 a.m. on the 14th of April. Preparing meals for the new year commenced at 6:17 a.m. today. Lighting of the hearth, clad in light green clothes and facing east, preparing milk rice as well as sweetmeat containing green grams. Commencing work, transactions and partaking meals will be done today at 7:41 a.m. clad in light green clothes and facing the direction of east. Anointing oil will be carried out on the 17th of April at 7:16 a.m. clad in blue and facing the direction of south. Leaving for work will be on the 19th of April at 6:39 a.m. clad in white colored clothes and facing south when leaving the house. President Gotabaya Rajapaksa in his Sinhala Tamil New Year greeting message stated that the dawn of the Sinhala and Tamil New Year brings out fresh hopes and renewed determination to materialize them is a valuable tradition deeply rooted in our culture. The message also stated that although adverse health conditions prevented us from celebrating last year's Sinhala and Tamil New Year, this year all of us together have made it possible to enjoy the New Year festivities, duly observing the age-old customs and traditions while adhering to health guidelines. It is a fulfillment of the hopes of young children who look forward to the New Year with excitement as well as all other citizens. The Sinhala and Tamil New Year is our principal cultural festival. Sri Lanka has a strong belief that the prosperity of the coming year will be the result of all our citizens performing the rituals at the same auspicious time. The cheerfulness of the adults is reflected through their children, who are delighted with their new clothes, sweets and games for the new year. In addition, the pleasant changes in the environment brings us physical and emotional bliss. It is also a notable attribute of the new year season that adults who struggle in life with complexities settle grudges and animosities and reconcile with each other. The President hopes that all citizens, without any discrimination, will join the Sinhala and Tamil New Year celebrations with tender and righteous thoughts. The President also respectfully commend the commitment and sacrifice of all those who are engaged in essential services and who are employed overseas and unable to be with their families during this season of New Year. The President wishes all Sri Lankans, may the dawn of Sinhala and Tamil New Year bring happiness, good health and prosperity to all. Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa, in his New Year message, stated it is time to embark on a new path towards a prosperous country, facing all the challenges with a new mindset and with fresh aspirations this Sinhala and Tamil New Year. The message also stated the people of our country have been participating in this great cultural festival since time immemorial, giving priority to the customs and traditions in this cultural extravaganza of the nation. Customs and rituals attached with the Sinhala and Tamil New Year depict the connection between mankind and nature. As a disciplined nation, people have followed the guidelines issued by the government with a lot of sacrifices. Therefore, the opportunity has arisen to celebrate the New Year to this extent freely. Therefore, it is the responsibility of all of us to preserve our cultural values while keeping in mind of the health practices. The government is striving to reduce the burden on people and create a prosperous future for the nation. The Premier also said it is time to embark on a new path towards a prosperous country facing all the challenges with a new mindset and with fresh aspirations. The Prime Minister wished the dawn of the Sinhala and Tamil New Year that fulfills the fresh hopes of all Sri Lankans. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation giving you the news.
Digital accounts can now be opened in 10 minutes. People's Bank Digital Banking, your ultimate convenience.
Continuing with more stories here at home. Opposition leader Sajid Premadasa stated in his New Year message that the dawn of the New Year should usher and strengthen reconciliation and coexistence among communities. This celebration has a unique culture of binding with nature. This has been a blessing to the whole world, the opposition leader added. The Sinhala and Tamil New Year has been one of the main celebrations depicting culture and religious observances. Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation has organized a special program known as Ratawata Aurudu during this New Year week. This is a usual program which is organized by SLBC every year. This time, the program is organized under the theme of Saubhagyamat Sri Lankavak, Nirogimat Jatiyak, Hela Sanskrutiyaka Urumaya, vision of prosperity, healthy nation, and a great cultural heritage. The program will have a special broadcast service from 4:30 a.m. to 6 a.m. today. Thereafter, the session will continue from 6:15 to 8 a.m. The program will cover the events from SLBC head office in Colombo, Rajarata, Ruhunu, Kandurata, Bayamba, Dambana, and Jaffna services. Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation has organized a special series of Dharma Deshana during the week of New Year. Accordingly, a special Dharma Deshana session will be held from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. and 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. up to the 17th of April, Saturday. These programs will be aired through Sinhala National Service of SLBC. Sri Lanka has confirmed 32 more new cases of the COVID-19 yesterday as the daily cases count reached 185. 10 of the latest positive cases have been identified from the prison cluster, the Department of Government Information said. The new development has brought the total number of COVID-19 confirmed yesterday in the country thus far to 95,579. Total recoveries from the virus infection have reached 91,926, while the death toll stands at 602. That's local news.
Debit card, mobile and internet banking along with cardless cash facilities can now be opened in just 10 minutes with no form filling with People's Bank Digital Banking.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
Sri Lankans witnessed another dawn of the Sinhala and Tamil New Year this morning, the 14th of April. The New Year, which is known as Alut Auruda in Sinhala and Puthandu in Tamil, is celebrated by both communities through various rituals and customs. As per the traditional astrological belief, the sun completes its movement across the 12 segments of the zodiac in the course of a new year, taking 1 month to travel each constellation. The transition of the sun from the house of Pisces to the house of Aries marks the beginning of the new year.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
And on Watchlight, the consumers complain about the sudden price hikes in certain essential commodities at some mega sales outlets. Even the price of a broiler chicken and curry fresh chicken are sold at different prices in private sales outlets. It is learned that some errant traders are increasing the prices of essential goods, citing various reasons. This has caused immense difficulties to the low-income families. This is for the attention of the Consumer Affairs Authority.
World News, brought to you by courtesy of
the best discount in this out of the season. People's Leasing Polybasi. Enjoy an interest rebate of 25% from People's Leasing for all the leasing facilities during this out of the season. Call 011 206 300 for more details. Conditions apply.
People's Leasing, the trusted leader.
And on World News, US says troops to leave Afghanistan by the 11th of September. Don't Wright shooting, police chief resigns over black motorist's death. US seeks China climate agreements ahead of Biden's summit. World News in detail. US President Joe Biden is set to announce that American troops will leave Afghanistan by the 11th of September, officials have told US media. The US would miss a May deadline for a pullout agreed with the Taliban by the Trump administration last year. The new deadline would coincide with the 20th anniversary of the terror attacks on the World Trade Center and the Pentagon in the US in 2001. Mr. Biden had previously said the 1st of May deadline would be tough to meet. The police chief of the city where a black motorist was killed has resigned along with the officer who shot him. Police Chief Tim Gannon and Officer Kim Potter quit the Brooklyn Center force 2 days after the death of Don't Wright sparked 2 nights of unrest. She says she mistook her gun for a taser as he tried to escape arrest. It happened in a suburb of Minneapolis, a city already on the edge of the ongoing trial of an ex-police officer accused of murdering George Floyd last year. Finally on World News, U.S. envoy John Kerry is heading to Shanghai to woo China in advance of a climate summit President Joe Biden is hosting next week. After a major diplomatic row at the UN, both sides hope to cooperate over plans to drastically cut emissions. The U.S. wants China to cease building coal-fired power stations and to stop financing coal ventures abroad. That's on World News.
World News, brought to you by courtesy of
the best discount in this out of the season. People's Leasing Polybasi. Enjoy an interest rebate of 25% from People's Leasing for all the leasing facilities during this out of the season. Call 011 206 300 for more details. Conditions apply.
People's Leasing, the trusted leader.
And on the main news story, Vice Chairman of Satos Outlets, Tushara Dissanayake, says the distribution and sales of relief package of essential commodities for a nominal rate have been carried out in a successful manner. This practice has restricted the other private and errant traders of exploiting the situation. Usually, some traders during festive season used to increase the prices of essential commodities. But this time it could not do so, since the government-controlled Satos outlets have introduced a relief package of essential commodities for nominal rates. And on development news, the Fishing Corporation has recorded the highest sales in a day. It was recorded on the 12th of April. The corporation says more than 20,600 kilo of fish products were sold on that day. Usually, the corporation used to record around 15,000 kilo sale of fish products. But on the 12th of April, it has shown a sharp increase in sales. That's on development news. And moving on to sports news on cricket, Rahul Chahar, Krunal Pandya and Jasprit Bumrah pulled a rabbit out of the hat to give Mumbai Indians their first win in IPL 2021. Down and out in their defence of 153, they strung together pressure on a slow surface and then let Knight Riders crack. Victory had looked a mere formality for the Knight Riders when openers Nitish Rana and Shubman Gill had walloped 72 in 8.5 overs. Where calmness could have done the job, Knight Riders paid the price for ultra-aggression, collapsing from 104 for 2 to 122 for 5, and then seeing Krunal, who finished with 4-0, 30-0, and Bumrah string together dots to leave themselves needing 15 off the final over. Scores: Mumbai Indians batted first and made 153. In reply, Kolkata Knight Riders made only 142 for 7. Mumbai Indians won the match by 11 runs.
Contributory deposit of 1,000 rupees from NSB when your child enters grade 1. Open a Hapan Children's Service account for your kid today. Higher interest. Conditions apply.
Business News. Sponsored by National Savings Bank. The safest place for your money.
In a bid to earn more foreign exchange to Sri Lanka, Premier Ceylon Teas and Spices has introduced the world's first handmade honey tea to the market, opening up a new chapter in the Sri Lankan tea exports. Founder of Premier Ceylon and inventor of the Golden Line honey teas, Jagat Vijayasekara, said that they have registered the product with patent rights number 21,449 after extensive research and tasting teas for almost a decade.
Business News. Sponsored by National Savings Bank. The safest place for your money.
Contributory deposit of 1,000 rupees from NSB when your child enters grade 1. Open a Hapan Children's Service account for your kid today. Higher interest. Conditions apply.
And on economic news, the government has a responsibility to take forward a journey that was built with the strong hopes of the people of this country in mind and to move forward more robustly. And this is the reason Made in Sri Lanka brand was introduced, said Vimal Veeravansa, Minister of Industries. He was speaking at the opening of the Made in Sri Lanka Trade Fair organised by the National Enterprise Development Authority at Anuradhapura recently.
Weather Report was sponsored by
Dialogue, in partnership with the Ministry of Education, introduces Nanasa, a trilingual educational mobile app with video-based lessons for grade 1 to A-levels. Now your child can study with ease on your mobile with no subscription fee.
And on the weather update, the Met Department says showers or thunder showers will occur at several places over most parts of the island in the evening or night. Heavy falls, about 100 millimeters, can be expected at some places in Sabaragamu, central, western and northwestern provinces and in Galle and Matara districts. Misty conditions can be expected at some places in central Sabaragamu and western provinces during the morning. General public is kindly requested to take adequate precautions to minimize damages caused by temporary localized strong winds and lightning during thunder showers. This weather report was published this morning at 4:30 a.m. Further details could be obtained by visiting the official website of the department.
Weather Report was sponsored by
Dialogue, in partnership with the Ministry of Education, introduces Nanasa, a trilingual educational mobile app with video-based lessons for grade 1 to A-levels. Now your child can study with ease on your mobile with no subscription fee.
Back to the headlines. Sri Lankans witness another dawn of Sinhala and Tamil New Year, and preparation of meals commenced at 6:17 a.m. today. President Gotabaya Rajapaksa says the dawn of the Sinhala and Tamil New Year brings out fresh hopes and renewed determination. Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa says the dawn of Sinhala and Tamil New Year will embark on a new path towards a prosperous country. The opposition leader says New Year should usher and strengthen reconciliation and coexistence among communities. Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation has organised a special program known as Ratawata Aurudu during this New Year week. News overseas, US says troops to leave Afghanistan by 11th of September. In sports, Rahul Chahar, Surya Kumar Yadav, Trent Bolt stars Mumbai Indians pull off unlikely win. With that, we conclude the morning bulletin of news, and it's back to Mario for the moment.